good evening, or how you guys everybody doing. I am doing this video as a video thesis for research to my kinesiology degree. The thesis is called Love Stroke, and it's because it comes from a place of love, of loving yourself enough to stroke yourself or to have someone else to take the time to stroke you. Love stroke from beasts to gods. The concept behind that is that the mark of the beast is 666 and 3 is the heavenly number. And what you want to do is go from 666, which is 18, to 3, which is enlightenment. And so 18 also can be related to the cervical and lumbar spine, cervical being 7 and sacral lumbar being 11, 5, 5, and 1 for the sacrum coccyx. So you got that. And so if you align the sacrum coccyx or the lumbosacral spine and the cervical spine, you align 18, and you align the total spine, the lumbosacral, the thoracic, and the cervical. You take that and you align the 3. So with that being said, that is just relating all of this to the chakras, which is looked at as the spiritual side. So it's basically what I would call a holistic approach to healing. And I have this little bodygram I've drawn here that relates the chakras to the nerve plexuses in the body. And if you take the time to look at my beautiful drawing here, and maybe pause the video there if you need to, you can see on the left hand side I also have the glands. And from there I have the plexus. I have the cranial plexus. Then there's the cervical plexus, the brachial plexus, the sympathetic plexus, the celiac plexus, the solar plexus, the lumbar plexus, and the sacral plexus. And directly across from that, you'll see on the left, these are the chakras. You have the Muladhara chakra here, the Swadhisthana chakra. I never say them quite right. There. And then you have the Manipura chakra there. And these 3 chakras are also the part of the solar plexus. And the celiac, lumbar, and sacral chakras also make up the solar plexus. And then above that you have the Anahata chakra. And then you have the Vishuddhi chakra. And then above that you have the Anja chakra, which is the third eye chakra. And then above that you have the Sahasrara chakra, which is the divine wisdom chakra. And I believe there's actually one chakra actually supposedly above that, and it's the the crown chakra. So as you can see, the whole point of that, and I had to say that just because sorry about the time, just to show you and explain to you that what the chakras kind of were if you couldn't read those, and what the nerve plexuses were. Before I go into detailed explanation behind the concept of the love stroke, which is a stroke or massage that you do to release toxins and poisons from the body. And so this will probably lead to alignment of the spine and a decrease in pain. So again, the thesis is love stroke from beast to gods. And I like to say, what is the difference between beast and humans? That's the thesis question. My answer to the question is a crook in the spine. Beasts walk with a crook in the spine, hunched over. What makes us different from those beasts supposedly are that we have an aligned spine. But Most of us, whether we noticed or not, our spines are out of alignment. So we are ultimately becoming beast. We're becoming beasts because our spirit, body, and mind is out of alignment. The mind and body is not under submission of the spirit. So the body is just basically doing whatever it wants to do, whatever it lusts for, we give it. And the mind knows that it's wrong, but it does what it wants to do, so it allows the body to just do what it wants to do. And the spirit is not in control and having the body under submission, and the mind having the body under submission. So we're acting as beasts. And I say that there was a point in time, maybe during the Ice Age, where we needed to have blood and starch to survive because there wasn't as much fresh vegetation. So we started to adapt to that diet, and that diet, we became addicted to that diet. And when the fresh vegetation did come along, we didn't adapt to that new diet as we should. So we chose to adhere to a beastly type of diet. And so that ultimately leads to excessive toxins and poisons that need to be flushed out of the body. My theory is that the organs should be much smaller, but because they have to process so much more and tougher metabolites, they've gotten bigger in not atrophy but hypertrophy, which means to grow. And so to compensate for all of the extra work that they're doing to rid the body of these really tough foods. So we've chosen to eat like beasts, and so the toxins are building up in our bodies, and they are growing are growing into our bloodstreams, because our circulatory system is designed to have your lungs taking enough air to push the blood out of your heart and through your arteries. The arteries are designed to then, excuse me, I have a really bad congestion, break down into your capillaries, which go into your muscles and pull debris and metabolites out of your muscles and flush those through the veins. If you're having too much toxins, and those toxins are constantly clogging up the vein, your circulatory system is going to have less pressure to push those debris through. And that's going to happen on a consistent basis, to the point that the lungs are no longer able to fill up enough to push enough pressure through to push out those toxins and debris. It's like a domino effect here. Your circulatory system gets clogged up. Then you have your lymphatic system, which flushes all of this debris out of your body through your excretory system, which is the system that allows you to use the restroom. Once these debris get caught up in your lymphatic system, your lymph nodes start to swell up and get full, because these debris are not able to move or diffuse out of the lymph nodes freely. So your lymph nodes back up. And so now you have a drainage in your lymph nodes that is not able to be removed from the body. So it's starting to build up in the lymph nodes. And now you have your nerves, which transmits all of the afferent and efferent information to your body and removes that information as well. It's the signaling, the communication unit system of the body. So that is where the nerve plexuses come in. Those nerve plexuses sit in specific spots, and it's a place where nerves converge or convene at one particular area. If the nodules start to cause debris to back up, those debris will back up into those nerve plexuses. Those will cause nodules or muscle knots or trigger points or tumors to start to form within the nerve plexuses. And those solids and debris will come out into the muscles and start to leak out into the muscles and form muscle knots and trigger points that will be encapsulated in what feels like by touch a muscle knot. So those muscle knots continue to grow and grow and grow into places where they should not be growing. And then we develop adaptations to the pain, to try to still continue to do things that we need to do without ever addressing the actual issue that caused the pain. And so then we get several of these knots in these spots, and they become tumors or masses or cancers or disease, any kind of disease, because it's just a bunch of toxins and poisons accumulated in one spot. Massage, the love stroke comes in by breaking up those toxins. So, there's one, and I'll make a video later you'll massage from the top of your shoulder, and then there's one that you'll massage from the sides of your the lateral sides of your body. And the elbow is what you use when you have someone who loves you enough to help you massage these nodules out of your spine. Once you start to massage these nodules out of your spine, you'll get less toxins in your body. Your immune system will start to be able to flush out and function, and then the body's natural mechanism of healing itself will start to kick in. The critical mass point, I love to talk about the critical mass point. That's the point that you get to, you achieve, where things start to do things on their own again. And I know a lot of people believe that the critical mass point may be 50% or 51%, but I believe the critical mass point is about 33%. So if you are able to clear 33% of these toxins from your body, your immune system will turn on and start to try to help you flush more toxins out, and that will then clear up the circulatory system, and then your rib cage will be able to fully expand, and you'll be able to take in a full breath. I'll do a quick demonstration of a full breath for you. So when you can do a full breath like that, you're going to be able to push out a lot of toxins and poisons right out of the blood just with breathing. They say, feel that prana, baby. That is what the prana is. The breath of life is breathing in that fresh oxygen, allowing it to flow through the circulatory system, allowing that negative pressure to be relieved, allowing the carbon dioxide to be pushed out of the blood when you breathe out. That's what that's all about. Negative pressure brings in the oxygen. Positive pressure brings in oxygen. Negative pressure brings out carbon dioxide. That's poison. So that's more of that poison coming out of the blood helps to clear out more of the poison out of the body, and you start developing less tumors. And another thing is you have to flush your body out. This is poisons and toxins. They'll dissolve. They'll come back out of the system, and as I said, they'll go and drain out of the excretory system, your bowels. They have to flush out. If you don't drink a lot of water, you'll just have a lot of solid poison putrefying, sitting in your bowels, reabsorbing back into your body through the blood by the bowel. There's a network of mesenteric veins right in the bowels. So you don't want to leave that stuff sitting there. You have to drink a lot of water and eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, salads with no dressing, no meats, no eggs, no cheese, no croutons. A lot of kale and some onions and some mushrooms and things like that. A little olive oil and vinegar, and maybe a little salt and pepper, a pinch to give it some flavor. Peaches, all kinds of berries, apples, nuts, almonds, walnuts, chocolate, in moderation. But definitely do those things and flush the body out, and keep working with the love stroke. The love is about taking the time out to heal the body, heal your body. I'm out of time. Do what you got to do. Love yourself. Stay tuned for the write-up thesis. Leave comments below and I'll answer.